Hello everyone, welcome to Johnson's Biology. Today what we're going to do is go over energy pyramids. There are lots of energy pyramids or ecology pyramids. So let's go ahead and take some notes on page 27 in your notebook. You should be at home, so you should be on 27. If you are at home and you don't have a Cornell sheet, it's okay. Just put it on a regular sheet of paper. Okay, so our topic for today is section in your book 3.2, ecological pyramids. Be sure to put your name up there and the date up there. Our essential question is, how is energy transferred through an ecosystem? Okay, now before we get started, you need to just do a tiny bit of reading and observe a couple pictures that I'm going to show you. So first of all, we're going to write down observations, and you need to make 2 observations about this picture. Okay, so let me show you that picture. Here we go. Okay, so you can go ahead and pause this and read it, okay? And when you make an observation about the picture, you'll notice this looks kind of like a food web, except there's 3 different pyramids and they show 3 different types of things. So please go ahead and pause this and make 2 observations. Please remember, observations are things that you see. It doesn't have to be super technical. What do you see in the energy pyramid? What do you see in the biomass pyramid? Or what do you see in the pyramid of numbers? Okay, so pause this and go ahead and do that. Alrighty, so you should have written down 2 observations. Now, we need to know the difference between the 3 types of pyramids. So, the difference I'm having trouble writing today. Difference between 3 ecology pyramids. Okay, so there were 3 different types of pyramids, so we're going to go ahead and write those types down. One is the energy pyramid. One is a biomass pyramid. And one is a pyramid of numbers. Okay, so the energy pyramid basically shows how much energy is passed on through the food chain. Okay, a biomass pyramid is if we could weigh all the creatures out there, how much would they weigh? And believe it or not, ecologists really do this. A numbers pyramid is when you actually calculate how many creatures are actually throughout the ecosystem. Okay, and that's pretty obvious just by our what it says there. Okay, now there's something that we need to be sure that we really notice. One is pyramids pass on 10% of energy to the next level. Okay, now you may have noticed just by looking at these pyramids that, yeah, that makes sense, because as you look at the pyramids, they get smaller as they go up. Okay, so for example, we have 100% of available energy through our producers, which are our plants. Okay, now when a first level consumer, say a rabbit, comes by and eats the grass, The grass has been growing for years, and the rabbit only eats 10% of the available energy from the producer. The producer, of course, got all of its energy from the sun. Okay? The first level consumer here is like our bunny. When it gets eaten by, say, a fox, then 10% of its available energy is passed on. Now, let's make this a little more real, okay? If we were out, if we could think about how many classrooms we've eaten, okay, over our entire lives, how much food could we fill up in each class, or how many classrooms could we fill up full of food? So you may think 3 classrooms, some of you who eat more, maybe 4 classrooms, 5 classrooms, okay. But you are not 5 classrooms big. During your life, you've been doing stuff with 90% of your energy. So if a bear came along and ate me, because I'm hiking along in Wyoming, and a bear came along and ate me, because they're pretty aggressive out there. So if he ate me, he's only eating 10% of all the energy that I've ever taken in throughout my entire life. Okay? So that's pretty important. So pyramids pass on 10% of the energy to the next level. So now we need to know, well, what on earth do you do with all that energy? Okay? Organisms use 90% of their energy throughout their lifetime. Okay, on what? That now you can pause this and think about, what have you used your energy for? Number 1, keeping warm. 2, you've been growing. 3, you waste some of it, and some of it comes out the other end. Some of it's lost as heat. Okay. 5, you may use some of this energy for reproduction. Okay. Reproduction and growing take a tremendous amount of energy. Keeping you warm takes a tremendous amount of energy. Some of it is just given off, then you don't even use it at all. It's just left over. So this is what organisms use 90% of their energy for. Okay, if you have any questions, please go ahead and write them down over here in the margins, something you don't understand, big questions, that something didn't make sense to you. Okay, at this point, go ahead and write your summary. Okay, and I will see you tomorrow.